Hey everybody, welcome back. Live at Drew's house, another edition. Hope you're all doing okay. We got ourselves another beautiful Thursday spring afternoon in the Newburyport studios, and it's another music show. Our guest today, CFG out of the North Shore.
It's late and you got roses on your cheeks. The moon is bright, but you still rain down on me, my love. And all you wanna do is go to sleep. You've already closed your eyes when I can't wait to see you in my dreams, my love. I don't wanna wait for you to finish sleeping, for you to open your eyes and put your pretty little lips on mine. So no, no. It's early, you got coffee on your mind. The press is full, but it still will take some time, my love. Your almond milk mixing with Bustelo, cinnamon and Stevia, I can't compare to the sweetness of you, my love. I don't wanna wait for you to shake off sleep now, for you to open your eyes and put your pretty little lips on mine. So no, no. When you say it's all my fault that we drank so much alcohol, yeah, and I lost track of time, kissing and binging Criminal Minds, and then it escalated. La da 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 da, la da 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 da, yeah. You're late and you are rushing out the door with barely any makeup on, but you still look beautiful to me, amor. You leave your shower towel on the floor when you're pulling jackets on. Where do you think you're going, my love? I don't wanna wait for you to start this working, for you to come on home and put your pretty little lips on mine. So no, no. So come on home and put your pretty little lips on mine.
Woo! Very nice. CFG Feeling like
you.
springtime now in the studios here.
A
This
little
is beautiful.
bit. Absolutely. Well, thank you for having me.
Okay, thanks for coming in, man. First time we're meeting here on the show. This is exciting.
Absolutely.
Do you like the room? I have to ask all the first timers.
Oh,
Does
yeah.
it sound okay for you?
It's great. It's awesome. Like I had to take like the sound hole cover out of the guitar, but it's great in here.
Yeah, it's good, man. You sounded great. Sweet
Thank
voice there. I like that very much.
you.
Nice song. Original songwriter.
Yep.
Beautiful. From living in Danvers now, the wonderful town of Danvers. You and I
yeah.
both now.
Heck yeah.
That's cool. We could have done the show in Danvers. No, just kidding, Newburyport. We wouldn't do that to you. But tell us a little bit about yourself. Upbringing, when you start playing, all that stuff.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, start from the very beginning. No.
in the beginning. So originally I was born in Chicago, Illinois.
Okay.
How I found myself here is my dad was from Rockport, and so moved here in 2003 when I was 11. So if you want to do that math, you can.
All right.
I don't invite anybody else to do that. But yeah, so my dad is a singer and songwriter himself, and has always been playing guitar.
Okay.
My mom was in the arts as well, acting, commercials, singing and stuff like that. So I kind of just like grew up with music and media always just being a part of the household.
Right.
And then, of course, my dad bought me my first guitar when I was 5, but obviously since I was a kid, I wanted nothing to do with it.
When'd you start going?
Yeah, so I started actually playing when I was 14.
Really? Okay. You let that thing sit for 9 years?
Seriously, yeah. Well, I was more of a drawer. I wanted to be a cartoonist and stuff. But
Yeah.
so I got to Rockport, got a really great group of friends there, like always hanging out at the beach, and everybody was passing around the guitar, playing like their favorite Jack Johnson, John Mayer songs and stuff like that. And I was like, wow, that looks like fun. So
You decided to do it.
So yeah, I picked it up and was like semi-self-taught. Just like had a really great group of people just around to help me out with all that.
Parents teach you at all, or are they more?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My dad taught me like the basic chords back in the day, and I was always like watching him anyways.
Yeah.
So it was just like, oh yeah, I know how to do that. Oh, I know how to do that. And then I figured out bar chords, and that just like kind of opened up everything.
There you go.
And then obviously I just like it was beach, went to reggae, and it's like kind of been it ever since. Yeah.
Yeah, cool, man. Well, that's outstanding. Again, we're joined here, CFG, first time on the show. I always love having first time guests because you never really know. I never know what the sound's going to be, or
right.
So that's what makes my job exciting.
And it's all improv.
I know, it's all very few notes, no notes at all. I got a
that.
newspaper. We could look at the newspaper. There's not much going on there.
Wonderful weather we're having.
Isn't the weather nice? This is a great time of year
Beautiful.
to be a artist, isn't it? Because you get to just, I don't know, it feels like everything's coming alive. People want to get outside.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so I was born in October, so I'm a Libra, so I'm always looking at the duality of things.
Okay.
You are absolutely right. The weather is getting great, and everybody wants to come out. The only thing that's terrible about it are the allergies.
Yes, the allergies. It's funny. I was just talking with our producer Sarah Blackstone about that, and she was saying, interesting fact, having less allergy issues because of she's still kind of masking up with the COVID thing.
Really? Oh, interesting.
I wonder if that's a thing.
Oh, it absolutely is.
I digress. But yes, allergies the worst, right?
Yeah, I woke up without a voice today, so I'm just really happy that we're able to do this.
I know. Yeah, I know. That must be hard on a singer, right? Some days you wake up and you're like, this is not a good allergy day.
Yeah, exactly.
You do like the allergy pills?
No. I do I have like the industrial bag of the Ricola right next to the bed, and I drink tea like nobody's business.
A lot of tea.
Oh yeah.
We get that so much, man. Singers, like, tea seems to be the magic potion for a
it's
lot of
huge.
singers, right?
Yeah, not only does it warm up like the vocal cords naturally, but it also just like all the herbs and stuff like that. It's there's some sort of recipe going on.
Where are you playing? You doing a lot of North Shore stuff, or you bounce
North
all
Shore.
around, or?
Yeah. So I actually just moved to Danvers from Medford because I wanted to get up closer to the city to get more into Boston area and stuff like that. So I've got a show. If this is Thursday, then tonight at Luke's up in Hudson, and then on Saturday I'm
Hudson,
doing,
Mass.
Yeah.
No.
Oh no. Hudson, New Hampshire.
Oh, New Hampshire. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I actually was from Hudson, Mass, and I was thinking to myself, I didn't know Luke's when I lived there. But
Whoa,
not
that's
from Hudson. I did like a few years out of college there, I should say. First house was in Hudson.
Gotcha.
Then we moved to Danvers, my wife and I. But
Heck yeah.
that city was growing, so I thought there could have been a new place I didn't know
Probably.
about. But okay, so Hudson, New Hampshire.
Yep, and then I've got a doubleheader in Gloucester on Saturday at Lobsterland, and then at the Rum Line.
Okay, cool. Gloucester's a happening music city these days, huh?
Absolutely.
I've been noticing a lot of people playing up in Gloucester a lot. Newburyport and Gloucester. People actually think Newburyport and Gloucester are like close to each other, being water towns. And it's probably by boat. It's easy.
By boat,
it's not as
exactly.
easy by land, But beautiful beaches up there in Gloucester. There you go.
Oh yeah.
The rival, Gloucester, the Gloucester fishermen are the high school rivals of Danvers High.
I didn't know that.
There you go.
Wow.
Now you get some Danvers knowledge dropped on you. You can say it
Right.
around the hometown there.
Just boom. So I shouldn't go up to the school and be like, "Hi, I'm from Gloucester."
It could be funny, yeah. But,
Okay.
You know, it's a friendly rivalry. You know?
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, every Thanksgiving, we used to go to the football games, and like their football game in Gloucester is like right on the water.
Oh, yeah.
Everything in Gloucester is like right on the water.
Kinda has to
Everything
be.
important is right on the water.
Yeah.
So like you'd have like cold winds, and Thanksgiving football would be wild.
I could imagine that. Yeah. And
Yeah.
everybody just kind of wants turkey and stuffing anyways. They're just extra aggressive.
They were a good football team too. All my buddies who played football were all like, it was tough. They were tough.
Oh yeah, Gloucester is known for that.
Yeah, I think
Totally.
still are probably. I've lost a little touch with it, but great music town though, obviously. So that's cool. What's the most? Are you getting do you actually get a lot more gigs? Do you feel that this time of year with things start
Yes.
opening up, or like how was the pandemic winter kind of weird?
Well, the initial pandemic just like kind of shut everything down. I
Yeah.
remember I played
It was a whole different world.
whole different world.
Yeah.
So, it was a Monday, March 16th. It was the.
Oh, you remember?
Oh, I remember because it was the night before the entire shutdown, and I was playing at the Rum Line, and it was just like it was an 8 to 11 gig, and then I got the word. And somebody was like, "Hey, play an extra hour, play until the 17th because we're gonna have a huge influx of people who want to celebrate St. Patty's Day because they're not gonna be able to tomorrow." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And I was just like, all right, never mind. We'll talk about that later. So I played an extra hour and just like had a huge party at the Rum Line. And then the next day I was just like, I couldn't go to work, couldn't go and do anything else.
So they knew you were going to be like the last
Somebody
artist
knew
for
something.
a while.
Yeah, exactly. And
Man.
so I had like a bunch of gigs. I was planning on doing like a bunch of recording, and then that all just like kind of went away. And then that first summer where everything opened up again, it was just like I weirdly like had an opportunity to join a wedding band for a little bit, and I did that in lieu of like booking my own gigs.
Yeah.
But then the next summer, which was last summer, it was just completely off to the races. Everyone was just
Yeah.
like, please come play, we're open.
It did kind of feel like that. We had a little bit of regression, I guess, during the winter and stuff. But as far as like, I do remember that last summer. It was like everybody, and now especially this summer.
Oh, yeah.
Even those groups that were holding off, it's like everybody. Yeah, off to the races is a good way of putting it. It's like shows everywhere.
It's like, please.
Yeah, everybody's playing everywhere. It's a
Yeah.
good thing. It's almost a little bit overwhelming for like the consumer because there's so much going on.
Exactly.
Every artist seems to be touring or about to tour or something like that. But that's a good problem to have.
I know,
A
I'd
lot
say
of
so.
options. Who are these? So you got your parents, obviously, probably the biggest influence. Who else for like musically? You dropped some John Mayer in there, and
Oh yeah. Well, Bob Marley was
Yeah.
one of the bigger ones. Believe it or not, Usher.
Usher, yeah.
Chris Brown musically. Right now I'm listening to a lot of the Elevators. I'm getting into do you know the artist John Bellion?
No, although I think that name's come up here before. Somebody
Yeah,
else mentioned that.
he's
once.
he's a pop dude. Well, pop hip hop dude who's
Okay.
like not underground necessarily, but his music is just like
should be
amazing.
bigger.
Yeah. But he chooses not to like tour and like
I
do
like
the big
that.
artist thing.
Yeah.
I'm really, really obsessed with the Elevators right now. They're a Massachusetts-based reggae band.
Okay. Reggae is really growing around here too. I'm noticing. You feel like
Yeah.
you get to see enough reggae? I mean, probably not enough, but
Not
it's
enough,
happening.
but well, I've been in the scene for a little bit. Me and my buddies had a reggae band called Pier Ave for the past like 5 years or so, and yeah, it's just like it's a niche community, but like
Yeah.
if you're in it, you're in it, you know.
Yeah. What is it about that that island sound that like speaks to you so much? Because I mean, people that love it. I'm into it too. I think it's hard not to like it. Find me the person that like hates reggae, and I'll be like, what's going on with you? It's like it's a
Yeah.
cool sound. I don't know. But,
Absolutely. Well, I think the biggest thing is like it's just like you say, you pass by somebody's like car window and they're just like they're listening to reggae and stuff like that. Even if you have no idea what it is, it just automatically draws you in because of how soothing and awesome the music is.
Yeah.
That being said, a lot of the especially roots reggae is like so filled with so much like pain and struggle in
Yeah.
the lyrics, but it is delivered in such a an upbeat, kind of all-consuming and all-consumable medium that it's just like it's fascinating.
That is. Yeah.
It's like you can listen to a folk song and like by the first like 2 chords you know what kind of path you're going down.
Right.
Versus a reggae tune or something like that, you have no idea what you're getting into.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like that mystique is kind of what drew me in.
Yeah, that is cool. It's funny that I randomly in college got into that. Does the name Thomas Matt Fumo ring a bell at all?
It rings a bell way back in there.
Yeah, so he's like, I had to do it for college. And I remember falling like in love, and I've kind of followed his career. Even like 2 weeks ago, I just checked. I always check just to make sure he's doing okay. He's still releasing stuff because I just like fell in love with him in college. But it was because a professor made us do, it was like a music class, and I remember having to do research on this guy. And it's, long story short, they call him the Lion of Zimbabwe.
Oh, wow.
Because he used to fight against apartheid and, you know, just the rights of the people. And he, like, got banned from Zimbabwe for many, many years, fighting for his people. And, like, so, but the music is just, if you listen to it, like, a lot of the language, you'd be like, oh, this is a great tune. And then you hear what he's talking about. Yes. And you're like, my goodness.
Right, yeah.
That is a real serious situation, you know?
Exactly.
And that's what, it's fascinating to listen to. That's what turned me out there. It was one of my first, like, real, like, kind of fall in love with reggae moments, I would say.
Gotcha.
Just following Thomas Map Fumo. So
I'm definitely going to check that out.
Yeah, older guy's probably, man, he's going to be pushing 80 now.
Wow.
Obviously. So he's been around. He's seen some things. But
of course.
But yeah, he comes to the States and plays every now and then. Just, you know, a lot of people here don't know who he is, but yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could fill lots of books with, like, the knowledge that is out there that most mainstream people don't know.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, you listen to your radio stations or whatever that you're comfortable with, and like in the car on your commute and stuff like that. Even I do it.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh wow, this person has existed this entire time, and I had no idea.
Yeah.
What?
I know. That's the great thing about music. You can keep finding stuff.
Exactly. It's kind of endless that way.
Yeah. How's the songwriting go? Do you writing all the time, or like here or there, or just when it inspires you? How's that process?
It's peaks and valleys.
Peaks and valleys. Yeah.
Definitely peaks and valleys. So I feel like
title of a new song, I think. There you go.
Right? Yeah. There you go. Well, I just get into these modes. It's actually funny that you bring this up because it's for the longest time I haven't been in a creative space, mostly because of the influx of how many gigs are coming in. Yeah. So it's like all this past year I was just like gigging and working and stuff like that. To the point where my own creativity wasn't actually coming out, and I'm starting to actually noticing it's a thing that I don't want, and I'm trying to switch it out. So now I'm just like starting to say no to gigs as they're coming in, because I'm like, all right, I'm booked up enough, but I also want that like at least 1 or 2 days where I can just like sit with my guitar or whatever and
CFG
stuff like that.
time.
Exactly. And then just be a creative human who's not just exhausted or like sick of playing chords because my hand is cramped or something like that. You know?
I hear you. We'll get to, we're going to play another one for us in a second, but just drop any info people want to know, Facebook, Instagram. I like sending people to your social media when they want more.
Absolutely. I'm always bad at this, so I always make myself do this at least once a show.
Yeah, but, I'm bad at it too, so when I remember, I try to throw it in.
Exactly. I actually have a sign right now. I can actually show you. It's in the guitar case. It's hilarious. It's on a wine box. Because I actually had a really nice sign with like my @
like a box of wine box.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's so classy.
Well, because it just moved, so I was just like, oh, I need something. You'll work, and I got it out and just put my handle on it, my Venmo and stuff. But you can find me on Instagram and Facebook at CFG's Music.
All right.
So that's where you can go. I post my schedule for gigs. I try to do live videos and stuff like that every once in a while.
So you're good on the social.
No, I'm not.
No,
I'm bare minimum.
I bet you're better than you think compared to some of the people we have in here.
Maybe.
I've had people in here who literally have forgotten like their handles, and like they're like, yeah, that was the wrong one, I think.
Oh, sick. Yeah. Well, at least I'm on top of it.
I think you're musicians. It's some of it's respectable. Like they just don't care. I'm gonna play, and if you come out and find me and like it, you know,
and that's awesome. But
my it's good to promote yourself. Yeah.
My marketing degree would be in disgust.
Is that what you went to school for? Marketing? Yeah.
Well, I bounced around. At first, I did creative writing. Then I switched schools and majors to audio production.
Oh, okay.
And then I finally was just like, all right, we've got the creative. I already know how to play. I was taking like classes and stuff like that, voice lessons. Then I got the audio part down so I could like play with Logic in my bedroom and whatever. And then I was like, now I need to market myself. So that's what I finally landed
Probably on. A good thing for every musician to know, a little bit of marketing knowledge. Am I right?
Oh, yeah.
It's a tough business out there. I know. I mean, it's a great business, but it can be hard.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me and most musicians that I talk to is being able to objectively separate you and your business from your own emotions. So it's like I could sit here and I can play songs and sing at people and stuff like that, but like when it comes to like selling myself. It's just like, that's weird. But like if you just like make it objective, it's like, no, this is business and your feelings about it or whatever and stuff like that. And do it that way, it makes it easier.
There you go. And then you find that happy medium, and that's when the world is good, right?
Sure. Why not?
All right. CFG here on Joppa Afternoon Drive, ending the week here for us. And on another nice springtime day, weather's been good, so this has been nice. Mm-hmm. You got another one for us?
I sure do.
What are you thinking here?
All right. So this is a tune that I wrote. Actually, all of these tunes, I wrote during pandemic time. So this one is called Endlessly.
All right. CFG, live at Drew's house, Joppa Afternoon Drive.
Come away with me. You can take my hand. We ain't got money, and I haven't any plans, no man. But what we got is love. What we got is hopes and dreams. Seeing India and West Coast palm trees. So, what do you say? You and I get in the car, baby, and drive. What do you say? You and me travel the world and make love endlessly, endlessly. You can draw in the sun somewhere on the beach, and I can write some songs and sing them on the streets of Greece. 'Cause all we need is love between you and me. So before we turn into dust, let's make some memories. So what do you say? You and I get in the car, baby, and drive. What do you say? You and me travel the world and make love endlessly. And I know it seems so out of reach, but we know life's too short to regret. Even so, you can count on me, yeah, like I count on you. So, what do you say? You and I get on a plane, baby, and fly. What do you say? You and me to all the things that make us both feel free. And what do you say? You and I get in the car, baby, and drive. What do you say? You and me travel the world, yes, travel the world, and make love endlessly, endlessly, endlessly.
CFG live at Drew's house, Shop Afternoon Drive. Sounding great, man.
Thank you.
Falsetto action. Beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you. I try.
When you learn to sing like that, all right, so your parents teach you a little bit, but at some point it must hit you, damn, I sound really good. I wonder if I got a future in this. When does that happen?
Well, I was actually writing my own music, and I was a hip-hop guy for a while. Yeah. Back when I was like 18, 19, 20 and stuff like that. But I was still like writing songs on guitar and singing and stuff like that, but I was wicked shy about it.
Yeah.
And then I think my first actual voice lesson was probably 2014 outside of like the school area, because like I obviously did chorus, madrigal choir back in Rockport High School and stuff like that.
Yep.
Got a good foundation there. And then I went to Salem State for a while. I had like a singing class and stuff like that, all that good stuff. But then I started studying with Jackie Chambers out of Essex, Massachusetts at Hummingbird Studios, I think it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
she was a big one for you?
Oh, dude, she's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Shout out, Jackie. I'm going to come and see you again very soon, I promise.
We like shout outs. That's good.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, no, she was just like the vocal rock and roll monk, essentially. She was just like, I can't even explain her. She's just like, she was my Yoda, essentially.
Okay.
She was my Yoda, but with like a lot of rock and roll in there too.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so she would mix a lot of the meridian lines in your body and like mixing Tai Chi yoga with like your breathing techniques and stuff like that, like opening up things. Like she would put me in the weirdest positions. Like I'm telling you, just like all over here, there's actually a couple things on my Instagram feed and like videos of her. I'm in her class and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm in the weirdest like positions, and then all of a sudden it just opens up something that makes it like so it's the most effortless and angelic I've ever sounded. And I'm just like, how did you do that? And she's like,
that is funny. Wow.
It's super cool that way.
Now, did she do that with everybody, or were you like a super tight person?
Oh, I don't know. I think she does that with a lot of people.
Yeah, probably. I did it again. I hit my head on the microphone.
Oops,
I'm doing this.
did it again.
I know. Sarah laughs. I think every time I do that. This is like a spot we shifted just like probably 6 months ago or something. So like I think probably every other show for the last 6 months I've at one point hit my head on the microphone.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
You're
great.
consistent, man.
It's a pro's pro move.
Absolutely.
It's fantastic. Well, that is good. Well, you sound fantastic. Was there that moment though? Like, because I feel like, especially if you say you're like shy, it does take a lot to get up on stage and like play in front of people. Yep. I don't care if it's 20 or 20,000. Like it's a whole different thing when you start going up there with a microphone in front of people. Like, when does that moment happen when you're like, let's do this. I'm ready for this. Let's make that move.
So that happened probably. Yeah, so okay, so I was at Salem State, 2010-ish and stuff like that, and like if you're familiar with the area, Gulu Gulu has like they're like famous open mic and stuff like that on Wednesdays.
Oh, so you did open mics?
I did open mics every once in a while, but that was like,
You know what though? A good training ground, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people say that, man. Like opening mics, like really just gave me that first step. It was like a stepping stone. Like, and then it gave me. Then I had the foundation of, I had a band too, but it just the ability to just get on stage in front of people was big.
Yeah, and like you always see it in all those like high school jock meets music movies and stuff like that, where they're just like, this is my passion and I'm gonna hide it from like dad or something as I'm training for the big game or whatever, or that just might be High School Musical, I'm not sure. But you always see it. There's just like everybody goes to the open mic and that's like their way to get on stage for the first time. Cool. And that's been doing that. And then I think my biggest entry point was I work in a restaurant down in Gloucester, and in the wintertime they would have music and stuff like that. And my buddy Jake Pardee actually was there a bunch before I even knew about it, and so they gave me a gig, and I was just like, okay, here we go. I've got some tunes, and it was just really helpful because like all of my coworkers were there supporting and stuff like that. And then I was just like, oh, I can actually do this. I can make like hundreds of dollars and just like sing songs at people. This is sick.
They're paying me for this.
Right, exactly. So it just like it built momentum after that, and Yeah, just playing with my band too, just like getting around, and busking really helped a lot.
Busking, yeah. I love the busking stories. You get some good ones?
Oh, yeah. Honestly, yeah. So me and my buddy Mike, we started the band P-Rap together, and before that though, it was just like it was actually working up to one of those gigs that I was talking about. I was like, hey, do you want to like work on some things together and like get this all together? And we did, and it ended up forming a band and everything. And then we were like, well, we could just like quit our jobs and make music on the streets. Why not? Yeah. And so we did that. We were just like, June 1st, we're quitting our jobs of whatever year it was. And we got all the licenses. We got a license for Rockport, Gloucester, Salem, the commuter rails in Boston and stuff like that.
Because you need those. You don't want to be invading on territory, right?
No, that's serious stuff, especially when you get up to like Harvard Square.
Yeah.
Oh, that was brutal.
So, Cambridge, Harvard Square.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, I'll interrupt you for 1 second because you know who you owe credit to for that? One of my favorite idols, a guy named Martin Sexton.
Oh, really?
So he's a excellent guitar player. If you ever actually, I believe he's in our neck of the woods. I just saw him drop a tour. He's coming to, is it Rockport or Ipswich? What's that funky theater there with like the ocean behind it?
Oh, that's Rockport. That's Shaylin Liu.
Yes. Yeah. I believe I'm almost positive he's playing there. Could be wrong, but he plays a lot around. Martin Sexton, an unbelievable artist. You'd really like him, I think.
Sweet, yeah, I know the name.
So he sued the city of Cambridge back like years ago because they had banned busking. Can you imagine not being allowed to be a street performer in Cambridge? It would like rip the whole soul out of the city, right?
Yeah, seriously.
They had banned it for a time, sued Cambridge, and won. So if you talk to like other musicians around, like even though he's not this huge name, if you talk to like big name musicians who are past the age of, 35 or so, they all know him and they all love him. Like they call him Uncle Marty, and like he's like a musician's musician. Like he fought for something. Yeah,
that's cool, man.
And that's how he got big. He started singing. People started. Next thing you know, there's 150 people out there throwing money into his guitar case.
Right.
So anyway, I derailed your busking conversation.
No.
I had to drop that one.
That's awesome, man. I love learning about that kind of stuff. I didn't know that I had to pay homage, and so now that I know, I'm definitely looking that guy up too.
Solo guy with great shows. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. But yeah, we were quite successful at busking.
What is quite successful in the busking world? Like, is it do you judge it by money or people?
Well, I judge it by how many hours that we just spent together, either on the streets or practicing or just like figuring out how finances were going to work.
Gotcha, yeah.
Based around our findings of what was successful.
Yeah.
There are some places that aren't really great for busking.
Like?
Well, in the middle of the summer, Salem, not so great.
Just too hot.
Well, yeah, no, on that street, the cobblestone street,
yeah,
I forget what.
I knew exactly.
Yeah. We were set up like I think right outside the Village Tavern a couple times and stuff, and it was just like, this isn't working. People are coming by there, they're like, that's sick, and just keep walking.
Gotta go.
Yeah, exactly. And it's nothing against people in Salem or anything. It's just like it doesn't lend itself to that. Yeah. Versus like at the end of Bearskin Neck in Rockport. On like a summer day, it's like Bearskin Neck is like this huge just jetty that's just people walking up and down with shops and stuff like that, mostly tourists. So it lends itself to being
water, the breeze.
The water, the breeze. Also, it's like part of the tourist experience to see some live music, local live music and stuff like that, without having to go into a bar or whatever.
Gotcha.
And so it's just like oh yes, please, thank you. You just made our day even better. Now we're gonna go get whatever, like some stuffed clams or whatever. Yeah. So there are certain, like, you learn those intricacies, but yeah, the whole busking thing without a job only lasted like a month.
Yeah.
And then like I think my student loans hit, and I was just like, I'm gonna get a job again. But we essentially like we wrote so many tunes and played like for like 6, 7, 8 hours a day sometimes and stuff like that. And it actually got us our first couple gigs. As a collective, because like we were playing outside of like certain places, and they were just like, the owners would come out before opening, they'd be like, hey, you want to do that in there? And we were like, yeah. So it just like it kind of snowballed, and it was definitely wasn't a waste of time, but it was a really good experience.
Gotcha.
I would definitely suggest, if you're going to quit everything without a safety net and like start playing music on the street, do it while you're young. Because I would not do that right now.
Good advice, yeah. No, it is tough, but that's cool. You get recognized, and that must be the best thing. Come play inside for us, won't you?
Yeah, exactly.
What about, do you have like that, because every like busker seems to have the story of like, I don't know, the drunk person that came up to him, or like the just odd moment on the street. Do you have any of those? Or
no drunken hilarity, unfortunately.
That's a good thing.
But we definitely attracted different types of people. Like like my dad would always say that that you're doing something right if you got kids involved.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Where it's just like, you know, you and I, people our age and older, younger and stuff like that, they already have their like predilections on how you're supposed to act in public and what you do and stuff like that. Kids are just blank canvases. So if they like something, they're going to dance and they're going to tell you. Yeah. And if they don't like something, they're going to equally tell you. They're just like, they're like, I don't like it. I've had like little kids just be like,
you gotta take that to heart.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, maybe I should turn down a little bit. But
listen, kid, I put my heart and soul into that song.
And she's like, yeah, whatever. It's bad. I'm like, all right, that's fine.
Oh man, that's too funny. It's heartbreaking, but funny.
Oh yeah, but like kids are the most honest people. But and so are drunk people, as a matter of fact. But yeah, no derelicts, nothing like that. I did have a couple people try to like sing with us a couple times, and that was cool because there was like no microphones around or anything like that. Yeah, that's actually the best is when people try to come and sing hammered on your microphone when you're playing a club. Oh yeah, and it's just like.
He says sarcastically because I don't think that's the best.
No, it's literally the worst. It's just like, okay.
Doreen, I think you sound better than you do.
It's just cool. Just being a musician is really awesome because like you have an excuse to connect with people that you otherwise wouldn't have a connection to. Right. And some people run with that, like drunk girls in clubs or like children and stuff like that. And some people are just like, that's cool or not from afar, and that's like awesome too. But you get to meet people, you get to jaw with them and stuff like that.
And I get the feeling you like the, you seem to have the laid back personality, but I mean, I know it's serious as can be, the business part of it, but like you have that, seems like if you don't get too riled up or rattled by when that person jumps on the microphone, you just kind of roll with it. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely.
That's kind of like the cool thing about live music, right? The unknown, like you never know what the next night's going to bring.
Exactly. I mean, you could have the same set, but it's going to be a completely different show. Yeah. Like no matter what.
One thing I wanted to, because we're getting to the final couple of minutes. Again, this is CFG in the house here, our Newburyport NCM Hub Studios, bringing us some live music here on a lovely spring day. One thing you mentioned earlier about being shy. What was the advice to get you out of that? Because I know so many kids, we get like a lot of kids on the show, whether it be high school kids making noise in the world or whatever. But we'll, I always wonder, like, that is kind of weird growing stages. Like, how did you battle that, like, being shy thing and that become like a performer like this? Do you just work yourself out of it, or?
Yeah, at a certain point, you can never really eliminate fear. Like I had somebody ask me yesterday whether I still get nervous before going on stage or like doing anything like this, and I'm like, every single time. I have like butterflies, I'm like sweaty palms, I'm just like, yes, I'm nervous every single time. You can never really get rid of fear. But it's just like your why. For everything in life, if something is difficult and you want it, it's probably worth doing it. So your why has to be stronger than the fear itself. Yeah. And so like getting out of your shell and stuff like that, it's just like that first performance I think really helped, where it's just like I was received so well by like everybody that it just made the fear a little less because there was some proof in the pudding that it wasn't going to be terrible. Also, I guess I was a little crazy in the sense that I'm like super introverted by nature. Yeah. So I took a job as being a waiter. True. And so it
have to talk to people.
Literally, it forced me to like have to be the most social person that I could possibly imagine. Yeah. And so that kind of just like translated into
but
like
listen,
everything
Dad,
else.
The waiter doesn't need to know your name, right? That's the Geico commercial.
That's so true.
It is true. Yeah. Do waiters actually get annoyed by that, like the extensive conversations, or not really?
Depends.
Yeah.
Like if you're trying to tell me your life story while I like have like 6 other tables and I'm running around, I'm just gonna be like, yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah. All right, I'll be right back.
Sometimes the people are so nice that you just have to.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You have to take the time, but like when you have the time, it's really nice to just. It's another facet of like, just getting to know people that you otherwise wouldn't have a reason to talk to, and I mean, everybody's wondering what like the meaning of all of this is and stuff like that. And if you're not sharing yourself with people, then kind of what's the point?
There you go. You get to see it from both. So you've done the waiter thing and the playing music, two very specific industries. Are people tipping more after the pandemic? They appreciating those two jobs better?
I'd say last year, definitely.
They've already forgotten.
It's calmed down a little bit. But it really depends because tipping is a very, very interesting thing because I'll play certain places where there's a certain demographic and my cup will runneth over because it's like their demographic understands that, is more privy to that, versus other places where maybe cash isn't so prevalent and maybe like you're not the focal point. Yeah. And it's just like, oh yeah, that was nice. Can you play this? No. All right, see ya. And you know, and it's just it you kind of just have to gauge it. But restaurant work, it's people still think that a lot of people still think that 15% is like good service.
Do they?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Or maybe they're just doing that and they're trying to get away with it still. It's like it's still just 20%. Yeah. If you like your waiter or waitress, 20% minimum. Just like, you know.
Yeah, that's just the number. It is what it is.
Yeah. I find myself in an interesting position because when I go play bars and stuff like that, I always shout out the bartenders and the servers and stuff like that.
Like it's amazing how important those people are to the musicians.
Oh, absolutely, because like in a lot of these places, it's like you are there to help the company and them make money and stuff like that. And so it's just like I always remind everybody, because I don't get to in my day job. I'm just like, remember, people, 15% isn't good anymore. Yeah, 20% higher. Come on.
It hasn't been good for a long time.
I know.
It's nice of you to say it politely. All right, CFG, before you play us out, I know, thank you so much, man, for coming on.
Oh,
this
thank you
will be
for
the first
having
of many, hopefully. I love meeting new, great musicians. This is fun. Tell just the website and just where people can find you again, just on the back end here.
Absolutely.
See how good we're getting at this?
I know, it's really consistent.
Ourselves.
Heck yeah. So this is you can find me at CFG's Music on Facebook and Instagram, and you can find my Spotify via my social media, because I don't remember the handle for my Spotify, because it's something I haven't been focusing on yet lately. So
well, you've given us enough nuggets to find you. There you go. Check them out. Playing a lot on the North Shore and all around.
North Shore, Boston. I will be doing a summer residency up at Bernie's Beach Bar on Tuesday nights. Oh, good. From 7 to 11.
Becoming a real popular spot.
Cool. Oh yeah, it's like the perfect beach spot up in that area.
It's a cool spot to see live music. Actually, I like it very much. A lot of good spots at Hampton Beach, actually.
Oh yeah. Last time I was up there, I think I saw Trevor Hall. And it was a great concert.
They get real big names there too.
Oh yeah,
it's interesting. All right, what do you got next for us? What are you gonna play us out with?
All right, so I'm gonna play you out with this tune. So speaking of inspirations and stuff, this dude John Bellion, who I talked to you about, he's probably most known for his song Guillotine. Yeah, I'm not gonna sing it right now. But like I delved really deep into his discography and stuff like that. And one of his songs, he kind of like credited the Kanye approach to like his chops, essentially, where he was just like, I wrote 6 songs a day for so he was like, I wrote a song a day for 6 years or something like that. And I was just like, what? Yeah. And so like I was just looking at it, and I was just like, just from an objective point of view, I was just like, okay, he was here, he wrote one song every day, and Ed Sheeran did a very, very similar thing, where it was just like he was just writing songs every day until you get to your 10,000 hours. So I adopted that for a couple months, and this is one of the gems that came out of it, and it's called Drink About You.
All right, CFG bringing us home. Thank you, everybody. Enjoyed it very much. Enjoy the spring weekend here. Be good. CFG on Joppa Afternoon Drive.
Thank you. I got tequila on my tongue, her on my lips, but you on my mind. 3 whole months since you were mine. Now I got beer on my breath, a head on my chest, but you on my mind. 2 whole days since I've been fine. They say it's okay, give it time. Now I got wine on my teeth, a smile in my heart, and you on my mind. I'll think about you one more time. Now I got a shot in my hand, her right there with me, but you on my mind. Therapy with salt and lime. Maybe it'll work this time. But that isn't to say that I don't have good days, 'cause recently most of them have been wonderful. But that isn't to say that it don't go the other way. From time to time when I'm feeling vulnerable. But they say give it time and keep your spirits high. Pretty soon you'll be alright, and I believe them. Because she's by my side, and ooh, it feels so right. But just once in a while, yeah, I need to drink about you. I got coffee in my cup, a hangover from getting you off my mind. But I hope that you're still doing fine. Now I got your name on my screen, a pit in my gut, 'cause you're on my line. I'll text you back this one last time. And just like that. But that isn't to say that I don't have good days, 'cause recently most of them have been wonderful. But that isn't to say that it don't go the other way. From time to time when I'm feeling vulnerable. But they say give it time and keep your spirits high. Pretty soon you'll be alright, and I believe them. Because she's by my side, and ooh, it feels so right. But just once in a while, yeah, I need to drink about you, you, you. Drink about you, you, you. I got tequila on my tongue, her on my lips, but you on my mind. 3 whole months since you were mine. Now I got laughter in my mouth, a stitch in my side, and her on my mind. 2 whole days and I'm still fine. You'll feel it soon, just give it time.